Welcome back to Wonderlane, my friends, where today we are looking at 6 celebrities who committed 6 crimes that have largely been swept under the rug. Nowadays, some folks probably aren't even aware that these stars have a checkered past. Let's start with Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was reported in 2011 by his then partner, Oksana Grigor, for domestic violence. When he appeared in court in Los Angeles, he had very little to say in his defense and was thus found guilty. Gibson got off on probation but had to undergo anti-aggression therapy. He was sort of branded by the incident, and many producers did not want to work with Gibson anymore, but for some time now he has been back at the top of his game. Let's move on to Mike Tyson. He raped Miss Black America contestant Desiree Washington in 1992. At the time, Tyson was already going through a divorce from his wife, who also reported abuse on Tyson's part. To avoid being sued, Tyson rounded up some of the best lawyers in Hollywood, but even they couldn't save him from 3 years in prison. Nowadays, this crime has been largely forgotten, especially in Hollywood, and so Mike Tyson can still be seen as a regular guest on Comedy Central roasts and other series. Moving on to Chris Brown. Chris Brown's 2009 crime is probably the most famous from this list. Many of you probably do remember when Rihanna released photos from her relationship with Chris Brown showing her with bruises and a black eye. Rihanna had to be hospitalized due to the severity of the injuries. Chris Brown got off with a suspended sentence and a total of 1,400 hours of community service. Unfortunately, Rihanna was not Brown's only victim. A few years ago, he was charged again for similar offenses against his new partner. Let's move on to Mark Wahlberg. It's hard to imagine Hollywood these days without the star of Ted and the Other Guys, but despite starring mostly in family-friendly comedies, he has a very dark past. In 1988, he attacked 3 Vietnamese Americans and was convicted of attempted murder. His motive was racism, as he had shouted insults at African American children and thrown stones at them 2 years earlier. Many Asian Americans still resist Wahlberg's attempts to have the entries on his police record removed. With all kinds of philanthropic work, Wahlberg has apparently been trying to make up for these actions. Let's continue with JayZ. Before becoming one of the biggest musicians of our time and making billions with his wife Beyonce, JayZ was charged with dangerous assault with a deadly weapon. At a release party for an album from 1999, he attacked a music producer for releasing the album before its release date, but not much else is known about the case. The only certainty is that JayZ received a 3-year suspended sentence. And now on to Matthew McConaughey. Actor Matthew McConaughey was found confused and upset by the police in 1999. He was in his house doing some good old-fashioned naked dancing and playing the bongos. You know, typical McConaughey stuff. Police subsequently wanted to take him in on suspicion of drugs, but McConaughey resisted arrest. This then led to a charge, and it earned the actor a pretty nasty fine. And that's gonna do it for this video on some of our favorite stars' forgotten crimes. So, sorry if we ruined your role model for you. We just thought you should know the truth. Which one of these did you find the most shocking? Let us know in the comments, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to Wonderlane for new videos just like this one, just about every day or so.